Hello my friends, it's Father Archer here, and welcome to your May Virtue video. The virtue we will focus on this month is the virtue of responsibility. And also a word of congratulations. You have made it through another school year. And I imagine this is a virtue that you've kind of been working on all throughout the year, as you've grown in responsibility in various ways. The word responsibility comes from the Latin word for spouse, the word sponsa. When someone gets married, that's often a very significant moment in which they grow in the virtue of responsibility, in which they'll say, I'm now becoming responsible for my new husband or wife and helping that person to get to the kingdom of heaven. And also when someone becomes a parent, they very much grow in responsibility, as parents have to take care in so many ways of their children. This is a virtue that we grow in from even the various youngest ages. And so when a child is still only 3 or 4 years old, they're given little responsibilities. The parents will sometimes have someone who's still quite young, like a 4-year-old, and say, John, now it's time for you to take your own plate from the table over to the kitchen sink, to clear your own plate. And as we grow older, often we take on different chores. Maybe you start sweeping the floor, cleaning the bathrooms, mowing the lawn, dusting, vacuuming, all of those good things that you can do around the house. And then a significant moment comes when you begin to realize that responsibility is not simply about doing chores that you're given, but it's about the way you live your life. And so one great moment will come for most people when they realize that they're not just responsible for jobs or for homework or these tasks, but they're also responsible for people. That you're responsible for your friends and your family members, that your brothers and sisters, that you look out for them and you take care of them and you perhaps you babysit or you watch over them, and you have responsibility for another person. That's always a significant moment of growth. But then even beyond that is moving from responsibility for tasks to responsibility for people. But then ultimately, as a person grows older and much more mature in their spiritual life, is they begin to grow in a sense of responsibility for sin and redemption. What does this mean? Many of the great saints would always take on little sacrifices that they would do for other people, and that they would often pray for other people, an atonement for the sins of the world. And they would do this out of a sense of responsibility, realizing that we in our own lives, Jesus has made us responsible for our salvation, but also for the salvation of others, that we cooperate with Jesus in the great gift of his redemption. And so we take on sacrifices and prayers, perhaps sometimes having good conversation with our friends, because we have the responsibility of helping them also get to heaven. And so my friends, no matter where you're at this month, go ahead and strive to grow in the virtue of responsibility this month and actually all the way through the summer. And so if you're at that point where you're still just mostly thinking of responsibility as chores that you have to do, perhaps start thinking of responsibility as chores that you get to do, as something that you can take full ownership over, that you don't wait until you're asked, but you do it right away because it's your task to carry out. Or perhaps as you're growing older, you're making some friends, maybe even outside of your family. You go ahead and start taking responsibility for those friendships, that you try to help your friends to grow in virtues themselves, and you help your friends grow closer to Jesus. And ultimately, some of our students are older. Perhaps you're looking at going to college before too long and making some big decisions. And so when you're making those big decisions, either about college or about your vocation, to do so with a sense of responsibility, and that you pray and you ask Jesus, Jesus, please help me to understand what responsibilities you're giving to me in my life. And so my friends, it's been such a joy doing the virtue videos for you once again this year. And I hope all of you have a relaxing and a blessed summer. God bless you all. Stay close to Jesus this summer. Take care. Bye-bye.